What is up, members of the Yante universe? My name is Vicente Yante. Welcome back to the channel. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about my favorite year in wrestling, 2006. Brother. Of course, I'm here with my best friend, Miller Lite. Anyway, now a lot of people might be asking, well, why do you love 2006 so much? It was a shitty year. It was not. Maybe the first half of the year was kind of slow, but it kind of picked up towards the end, which we'll get to. But I'm going to be going through every pay-per-view. I'm not going to be going over every single match because that's just a giant waste of time. So I will be delivering like my thoughts and on the matches or whatever. I'm not going to go over every single match like I said. So kicking things off with a bang from January through December, we're going to kick things off with January with the first pay-per-view, New Year's Revolution, which took place, I don't know where, I don't care either. I know that sounds wrong, but, you know, I don't really remember at the time. I don't remember right now where the pay-per-view took place. New Year's Revolution was a really interesting pay-per-view. We had some rivalries. We had Big Show versus Triple H, where the Big Show was pretty much selling his hand injury. I don't know if the injury was real or if it was kayfabe. I'm not really sure. I know Big Show had a cast on during that match, which Triple H targeted throughout the entire match. At the time, you know, Triple H was a freaking bad guy. I'm not going to say the wrestling terminologies like heel and stupid bullshit like that. That sounds fucking retarded. So, Triple H was a top villain. He was, you know, feuding with the Big Show. He beats Big Show. Of course, you know, he targets Big Show's hand. So Triple H wins that match, and then we have Edge versus Ric Flair for the IC title. Well, I don't remember who won. I don't remember how the match ended. All I know is that it was a really big feud at the time. You know, where Edge was being, you know, his usual asshole character that he was portraying at the time. I like Edge now, but back then I didn't like him. I thought he was a dickhead. But I love Edge now. He's a really great guy. He's got 2 beautiful daughters. Anyway, so Edge, I don't know how the match ended. Anyway, so we had Gregory Helms versus Jerry Lawler. Jerry Lawler won. And then the main event of this pay-per-view was the Elimination Chamber. We had John Cena defending the title against Shawn Michaels, Kane, Kurt Angle, Carlito, and Chris Masters. John Cena would retain the title, but Edge would come out and pretty much ruin that by cashing in Money in the Bank. So Edge became WWE champion at that night. I was not happy about it. I was not an Edge fan. I thought it was not cool, but I know a lot of people were not John Cena fans. I like John Cena. He's cool. So I was not happy that Edge won, even though I do like him now, but back then I didn't like him. So yeah. Anyway, Royal Rumble 2006. So we had Kurt Angle versus Mark Henry for the World Heavyweight title, which is that big overrated ass gold belt that everybody loves. Kurt Angle retains, but Kurt Angle beats Mark Henry, but Undertaker comes out and does his magic powers and shit like that, breaks the ring. Rey Mysterio wins the Royal Rumble by getting rid of Randy Orton, which will continue this story heading into the next pay-per-view. Edge versus John Cena for the WWE title. Edge lost the title literally a month after winning it. Or not even a month, like less than a few weeks. So, that was what it was. So, yeah. And then we have No Way Out, 2006. Randy Orton versus Rey Mysterio. The winner goes on to WrestleMania. So pretty much Rey put his world title match on the line against Orton because Orton pretty much goaded him into doing so. Orton wins, and of course Rey was pretty pissed off after that. You know, can you blame him though? And then you have Kurt Angle versus Undertaker, which is a great match for the world title. Kurt Angle won in questionable fashion according to a lot of people. You had another match with, it was Chris Benoit versus Booker T, which that match will never be acknowledged because of what Chris Benoit did. Fucking bastard. JBL versus Bobby Lashley. Nobody cares. JBL won. thanks to Finlay's interference. Then we have after that we have I'm not going over. I'm not gonna go over every match, guys. I'm not gonna waste your time with that shit. So I will say that Batista did appear at No Way Out just to cut a promo. That was it. So WrestleMania 22 from Chicago. Now that I remember. We had great Money in the Bank ladder match with Rob Van Dam winning. And we had Undertaker versus Mark Henry in a casket match, which The Undertaker won. Mick Foley versus Edge, hardcore match. Great match, really amazing match. We had Vince McMahon versus Shawn Michaels. Really great match. And JR was pretty biased during that match. He really wanted Shawn Michaels to kick Vince McMahon's ass. Which he did, honestly, he did. And then we had the world title match. Kurt Angle versus Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton. Rey Mysterio won. Really emotional night. Rey would win the title. You had Chavo Guerrero, you had Vicky Guerrero come out and celebrate him. They were both emotional. Of course, Eddie Guerrero passed away a few months prior, so Rey did this in Eddie's honor. Great match. And then you have Triple H versus John Cena for the WWE Championship. Really, really great match. A lot of people don't like it. I like it. John Cena won. And a really great show. Trying to think of any other matches that were noteworthy. Backlash 2006. You had John Cena versus Edge versus Triple H for the WWE title, triple threat match. John Cena won. You had the McMahons, Shane and Vince against Shawn Michaels and God. Are you serious? Crazy. Kane versus Big Show. I'm trying to think of any other matches. Anyway, Carlito versus Chris Masters, I think. Ric Flair versus Umaga. Yeah, Ric Flair versus Umaga. Masters versus Carlito. Nothing really special about Backlash. Judgment Day. Taker versus the Great Khali. Not really a fan of the match. I seen it. I didn't like it. We had Rey Mysterio versus JBL. Great match. Really, really great match. Rey Mysterio retains the title. Kurt Angle versus Mark Henry. Chris Benoit versus Finlay. You know, Benoit wins. I think. I haven't seen the pay-per-view. I have the DVD. I think Angle and Mark Henry ended in a no contest. I think. So, One Night Stand 2006. John Cena versus Rob Van Dam for the WWE title. Cena lost. RVD won. A lot of fans hated John Cena on this night. We had Tommy Dreamer and Terry Funk against Mick Foley and Edge. Actually, it became a six-person match with Tommy Dreamer, Terry Funk, and Beulah McGillicuddy against Edge, Lita, and Mick Foley. So yeah, really good show. It was what it was. Vengeance 2006, pretty good show. DX reunited. Shawn Michaels and Triple H versus the Spirit Squad, great match. Edge versus Rob Van Dam for the WWE title, great match. Great American Bash, Batista returned against Mr. Kennedy. Supposed to be Mark Henry, but Mark Henry got hurt. So Batista lost by DQ, I think. And this was the night where Rey Mysterio would lose the world title to Booker T, aka King Booker. So then we have SummerSlam. We have the McMahons versus DX. We have Edge versus John Cena. And then we have Batista versus Booker T, King Booker. I know that the McMahons lost, I believe. Then we have John Cena lost to Edge when Edge hit him with the brass knucks or some shit like that. It was a shitty finish. And then Batista lost, I think. And I think that was pretty much it. I know Ric Flair fought Mick Foley in an I Quit match. They had a rivalry going on since, I want to say, June, because they had a match at Vengeance. So Ric Flair beats Foley. That was what it was. And then we have Big Show versus Sabu for the world title. Or ECW world title, I'm sorry. Big Show retained. The next pay-per-view was Unforgiven. It was Unforgiven. We had Edge versus John Cena, TLC match. Really, really excellent match. John Cena won the title back. A lot of people were pretty angry about that. I was pretty happy about it. I like John Cena. Big Show and the McMahons against DX. And by the McMahons, I mean Vince and Shane. And this is the night where DX shoved Vince McMahon's head literally up to Big Show's booty. And yeah, that was crazy. Also, we have I'm trying to think about any other match on the card. Unforgiven was a pretty packed card. I mean, you had DX versus the McMahons and the Big Show. You had crap. I'm trying to think of any other matches. I'm sorry if I'm drawing a blank here. I'm just trying to remember. But I think the main matches that were important were John Cena versus Edge TLC match and Big Show and the McMahons against DX. Moving on to No Mercy. Bobby Lashley versus Finlay versus Batista versus Booker T for the world title. Or I'm sorry, King Booker. So King Booker retained, obviously. Great match. I just wish Batista would have won. And then we had Mr. Kennedy versus The Undertaker. The Undertaker got himself disqualified by using the U.S. title against Kennedy. And then he goes as far as tombstoning the ref. I didn't really appreciate that. What did the ref have to... what was his fault? And really great show. I like No Mercy 2006. And then we have Cyber Sunday 2006. We had the Champion of Champions match, John Cena, WWE Champion versus Booker T, World Heavyweight Champion versus Big Show, ECW Champion. This was the night where fucking Kevin Federline interfered and cost John Cena the match, thus giving Booker T an easy win. That was the only match that was worth noting. Also, we had anyway, this is my favorite pay-per-view, guys. Survivor Series 2006. I love this fucking pay-per-view. We have John Cena, Team John Cena versus Team Big Show. We had John Cena, Kane, Bobby Lashley, John Cena, Kane, Bobby Lashley, RVD, and Sabu against Big Show, Test, Umaga, MVP, and so you got Big Show, Test, MVP, Umaga, and who's the other guy? Got Big Show, Umaga, MVP, Test. Fuck, I'm drawing a blank. God damn it. Big Show, Umaga, Test, MVP. Oh, Finlay. There you go. I got it now. I got it. It was Finlay. So, Team John Cena won, obviously. You had Team DX versus Team Rated RKO. You had DX, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, CM Punk, and the Hardy Boys against Randy Orton, Edge, Johnny Nitro, Gregory Helms, and Mike Knox. I got it. But the main event of the night... Oh, by the way, Team DX won with every member still intact. That was pretty awesome. And then, like I said, Team fucking John Cena won. You had Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, Ron Simmons. Okay, we got Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, Ron Simmons, and I'm trying to think of any other people in that match. Ric Flair, Rhodes, Simmons, Sergeant Slaughter, with Arn Anderson at ringside against the Spirit Squad. And I think Mitch was at ringside, I'm not sure. Ric Flair won as a sole survivor. So, but the main event of this pay-per-view was John Cena. The main event of this pay-per-view was Batista, my man, versus Booker T, King Booker. And Batista won. Batista wins. Batista! So Batista wins the world title for the second time in his career. Amazing night. I was really, really happy. So, yeah. Now on to the most really terrible pay-per-view that everybody seems to hate. I like it. We have two main matches that were hyped, which is the only ones I'm going to talk about. We have Eminem, Mercury, and Nitro against the Hardy Boys. The Hardy Boys won. It was a really great match. It was solid. And then we have the main event, which was the ECW World Title inside the Extreme Elimination Chamber, which was Big Show, Test, Hardcore Holly. Because we had Big Show, Test, Hardcore Holly, RVD, CM Punk, and Bobby Lashley. So, yeah. So we have, again, let me go over the listing again. We have Big Show, Test, and Hardcore Holly. It was Big Show versus Test versus Hardcore Holly versus RVD versus CM Punk versus Bobby Lashley. Sabu was originally in the match, but they came up with a freaking injury storyline or some shit like that. A lot of people were pissed about that because Sabu was pulled out of the match. So Bobby Lashley wins. I heard stories that Paul Heyman wanted CM Punk to win, but Vince McMahon wanted Lashley to win. So anyway, Lashley won. Vince got his wish. And now on to my favorite pay-per-view. Armageddon 2006. I love this pay-per-view. I have the DVD. It took place from Richmond, Virginia. Really great show. MVP versus Kane. Inferno match. MVP versus Kane. Great rivalry. Inferno match. Kane won. We had a tag team ladders match, which featured William Regal, Dave Taylor, the Hardy Boys, Eminem, and London and Kendrick. Brian Kendrick and Paul London, for lack of a better term. This is the night where Mercury suffered a brutal injury to his face. He was bleeding everywhere, and it was not a pretty sight. But, great match, excitement personified, really great show. And then we had Undertaker versus Mr. Kennedy in a last ride match. They actually had a first blood match at Survivor Series, which I forgot to cover, which ended in controversial fashion when MVP hit Taker with a chair, busted him open. But Undertaker got his revenge. Tombstone Kennedy on the roof, puts him in the back of the hearse, last ride, boom, Undertaker wins. So then we have the tag team main event, which was John Cena and Batista versus King Booker and Fit Finlay. Great match. This pay-per-view by far was one of my favorites. I watched the DVD over and over. I fucking forgot how many times I watched it. But I love the year 2006. So that pretty much wraps up the review. As far as Armageddon, I love that pay-per-view. December to Dismember, it was a good show. I mean, a lot of people hate on it because it was really crappy, which I understand why. I mean, it was a shitty-ass pay-per-view. But all in all, December to Dismember was great. I liked it, despite the lackluster matches and all that shit. But as far as my top favorite pay-per-views of 06, I'd have to say it's Vengeance 2006, Unforgiven 2006, Survivor Series 2006, and Armageddon 06. And especially, I forgot to mention this, WrestleMania 22. That's another really good show that I really like. I think it's up there with WrestleMania 21. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. And I thank you for sitting with me and watching me do this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Remember, guys, no haters allowed. If you're a hater, get your ass out of here. But if you like what I post, make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and hit the like button, and let me know what was your favorite pay-per-view from 2006. Let me know what was your favorite pay-per-view from that year, and hit me up in the comments, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I love you to death. Make sure you're being safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios, amigos.